they interact everywhere in some good ways and some very toxic ways. I think we have seen, again, on the national stage, how simply doing the most shocking thing can be a good way to get lots of free press coverage.
A lot of people don't read nowadays. Like we don't even have like newspapers anymore. Only old people have newspapers. So a lot of people like keep up with news and like up to date with like current events through like social media and like through films. Like a lot of people wouldn't know like how like certain people were oppressed. Like certain slave, like how like slavery and all that, like we didn't come out like The Color Purple, or not, that was something different, but like slavery, like with like over 12 years a slave and other stuff like that. So I feel like it just shows, like, I don't know, history and like the truth about America.
Whatever's going on in the world in politics is usually on people's minds when they're making movies, when they're making a documentary. So what's going on in the world will always, I think, directly influence what's on film, even if the film isn't about politics.
The spectrum is so split on the left and the right. And I think media is a big part of that. Yeah. And I think this going 24 hours news, you start running out of news and you sensationalize, and I think the media is really split into two parties even more than they already are. Yeah. And I think there's a lot more common ground. I think there's a lot more moderates out there than is represented on TV.
It's important to see representation of like all sides in media.
Case, I think, closed.
I thought it was sort of generic. She really didn't say that much that was interesting.
A lot of people get their history from films, and they get their ideas of like who people were and like what actual events looked like. So I think the movie industry has a big duty to portray things truthfully.
It's pretty important. It gets a lot of people who may not be involved in politics involved.
The role of media or film combined with politics is to put it into a medium that's easier for people to understand. Like my favorite show is like Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, and I usually don't keep up with politics, but something like that makes it really easy it just makes it more digestible and makes it easier for young people like me to understand current events and what's happening, get more involved in it.
Now, if you're thinking that's the most boring Donald Trump speech I've ever seen, that might be because he was reading that script off a teleprompter, not talking off the top of his head. So it's like watching a circus seal fold laundry.
There is an important link between them. Just using the example of The Help. And The Help created this narrative. It kind of created a binary in Jackson, because half the people I knew were like, oh, The Help shows like how far we still have to go. Like, look at how Jackson is still like this. But then there was a good portion of people who used that narrative sort of as like inspiration. Like, look at how much we've done, look at how much we've changed, look at how much we've progressed.
You can even do like social commentaries and stuff through film where you're not even looking at a political film, but like that movie on Netflix, Bright, that Will Smith was just in, is kind of like a big social commentary. It's like a cool like idea to like present a social commentary on like racism and stuff like that.
We're constantly thrown with media in our face every day, whether it be on Twitter, Snapchat even, Facebook, wherever you log in, you're kind of being politically influenced.
Media has the great advantage of putting perspective on things, a lot of the times with an agenda. Like Fox News has their private agenda, and typically on the ethics spectrum leans towards the right. MSNBC opposite on the left.
President Trump, when he's not golfing on the weekends, likes to get a good dose of executive time watching Fox News. On Saturday night alone, he tweeted at Fox News 3 times, including a promotion of his upcoming phone interview with Jeanine Pirro, which he then retweeted soon after his phoner was over.
There's certainly like a lot of ways that we can read it, but as far as film is concerned, we kind of crave like a visual portrayal of what's going on and tend to like hope that is accurate.
Film can greatly sway public influence. You can have an event and you can present a hypothesis, and if it's credibly done tastefully through art, you can have a massive influence on political opinion. To separate the effect of arts and culture from politics is almost impossible.
There are whole movies about just political topics, and there are movies where it's not an important thing, but then it's this overshadowing kind of message in it. Even like Disney films or like the Lorax, it's about environmentalism. Even at a young age, you get introduced to politics in film, and I think that's a very important part of like basing your opinion.
I'm the Lorax, guardian of the forest. I speak for the trees.
Really good avenue for representation. I mean, not just of, minority groups who aren't typically recognized. I mean, just look at, Wonder Woman coming out, Black Panther, movies like this that are so big for a lot of people who don't usually see themselves on the screen, and telling stories that aren't stereotypes. Seeing people come out and be themselves instead of, reading off of a script that was written by someone who's not part of that group.
Love, Simon came out, and it wasn't like every movie about a gay teen up to that point had been like, oh, homophobia, he's closeted, he's oppressed, all this, like, it's shitty, and like someone dies, but like you get to Love, Simon, it's just a happy movie about a gay kid, and like he gets to be happy and his friends like him. There's no message of like such being gay. It's just a celebration of being who you are, and to me that is stunning.
Well, film is art, and art reflects our culture, and so I would have to say that anything that film is reflecting is also being reflected in politics, and oftentimes politics are affected by film and vice versa.
I had to work a little harder, that's all. You see, I believe in the voters. They understand that elections aren't just popularity contests. They know this country was built by people just like me, who work very hard and don't have everything handed to them on a silver spoon. Not like some rich kids who everybody likes because their fathers own Metzler Cement and give them trucks on their 16th birthday and throw them big parties all the time. No, they don't ever have to work for anything. They think they can just all of a sudden one day out of the blue waltz right in with no qualifications whatsoever and try to take away what other people have worked for very, very hard their entire lives. No, didn't bother me at all.